What's up, guys? I'm back with another episode for you to listen to, so just sit down and relax. Today's topic, dreams and nightmares. Now, there are multiple ways to perceive what a dream and a nightmare are. For example, someone may think of a dream as something that they see in the future, or a nightmare as an experience that they hate. We're going to be discussing those elements, but for the time being, I want to talk about dreams and nightmares in terms of sleeping. Now, when you go to sleep after a long and heavy day, there isn't a concrete way of predicting what you will dream about, right? So, when it does happen, you become very confused because it's different for everyone, no matter what. And it's impossible to not dream because everybody does. But a vast majority do not recall their dreams. Now, if you were to remember, it's hard to forget. I'll even tell you about a dream that I had just over, a year and a half ago. Okay, so let me remember this because it took me a while. Okay, so here's what happened, right? I was with my cousins, Nicholas, Nico, and Frankie, and we were at this tailor, right? Like, you know those people that they measure your body to see what kind of suit fits you and the measurements and everything, and they basically tailor your suits, right? So we all go in there and we're checking out the clothes and everything, talking with the people in there, and it was good. But then I remember my cousins leaving, and I'm the only one left in that store, except for the actual tailor, right? So the tailor comes up to me, and he says, "Yo, follow me." And I was like, all right. And then he takes me to this room where there was a green suit there, right? Like, it had a tailcoat, and it was for me, right? And I looked really, really sharp. Like, listen, I'm not saying that I look good, but I look good, you know what I'm saying? But that's for another episode. Anyway, I see that suit, and all of a sudden, my vision fades as if it were, transitioning, right? So, all of a sudden, it transitions, and I'm inside of a nightclub with the suit on, okay? Now, I'm inside of this nightclub, and I have my own booth, and, it's all of my friends there, some of my cousins, some of the classmates from my school that I talked to, and it was awesome. It was a really nice time there. But then all of a sudden, my crush at the time, this was the dream was around 2 years ago. I can't really tell. It was 2 years ago. And my crush at the time turns to me and says, "Hey, yo, can I go home?" And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. So I told everyone that was in the booth, you know what, you guys have a good time. I'll be right back. I'm going to go drop her off, and we'll continue partying. Right, so I say bye to everybody, and I'm walking home, or I'm walking to my crush's home, and, we're walking. It was about a 15-minute walk, and we got to her house, and all of a sudden, I look over, and it's all burned down. The doors are charred. It's incinerated. Everything was burnt almost to ash. And it was funny too, because it was snowing, in the dream, and in the reality 2 years ago, it was snowing. So I find it very, very strange that this house completely burned down, right? Now, I turn over to my crush to see if she's in, shock or whatever. And there's, no emotion. Zero, bro. There's nothing. There is literally nothing. No emotion. Now, being the logical thinker that I am, I thought that, okay, she doesn't believe this is real right now, which is ironic because this happened in a dream, but anyway, she's probably in shock. So I told her, wait here. I'm going to go see what's going on. So I go inside what's left of the house, and, everything's burned down. Paintings, the kitchen, doors, her room, like everything was just burnt to a crisp. Now I'm thinking in my head, like, yo, how am I gonna tell my crush this? Like, this is, like, how, okay, viewer, imagine you were told, or you had to get told, that almost every single thing that you own has been burnt down. Everything. You'd feel bad, right? So I'm thinking, like, how am I gonna say this? So I'm going back to where my crush was, like where I left them to wait. And they're not there anymore. They're just like gone, right? Like there were no footprints in the snow. There were no footprints in the snow. And all of a sudden, I hear like sounds in the house. So I'm thinking, oh, okay. She probably wanted to check it out for herself. No big deal. I turn around, I go back in the house, with everything being all burned. It was very sad to see, right? But I go back in the house. I look around. She's not there. I don't see anything. Now, I'm trying to go to the basement because I haven't gone there. She's probably there. And this is going to be very hard to explain, so just bear with me. I was going down the stairs into the basement, but each step that I took, it was like my vision was getting blurry, as if like you rubbed your finger on a camera lens. That's how it looked like. Now it was getting blurrier and blurrier with each step that I took, and from blurriness it went to like fading to white. So with each step it was getting more intense, the effect was more intense. And then that's when I woke up, trying to go downstairs to the basement to see what was going on. And I know it's a bit lengthy. But the point I want to make is that dreams are sometimes unexplainable. Like, even more so unpredictable. Like, I never thought one time in my life I was going to ever dream about that. It was just, dude, it was a very, very complicated dream. I didn't even go back to, like, the nightclub. It just ended there. And, like, ever since that day, I've been trying to, like, decipher that dream, like, find out what that meant. But, again, I don't think there are that many meanings to just a normal dream. It was whatever. I didn't think much of it. It was whatever. Now, every single one of us wants to escape from reality. Whether it be from our phones, from, sometimes drugs. And sometimes dreams are also a way of going about it. Like I personally know people that, like, it is very sad too, because they don't leave their house, and what they do is the only reason they would get up out of their bed is to like have basic human function. Like they would eat, they would drink, they would use the bathroom, and then like they would just try to knock out because they didn't like reality that bad. Dreams are just so like normal to them that it was very sad hearing that, because I also knew people like those people that I was talking about. I knew them in real life, like I saw them, and they dropped out of school. And yeah, it kind of sucked. But anyway, enough about dreams in terms of sleeping. Let's talk about dreams in terms of the future, right? If I wanted to become a guitarist, which I do, and make that a career, that'd be my dream. Now, some of us don't exactly know what that is yet, and that's fine. That's okay. Everybody questions what their purpose is on this world, but it takes a while to find that out. It took me a good while. Like I was in Florida, and I was playing a video game, and in that video game there was this NPC that was playing a song by a fountain, and I liked the tune that he was playing, right? And I feel like that answers the question how you figure out what you want to do. Like I said that people don't have purpose, right? And people have a hard time figuring out. And I said that's fine. But what if someone were to ask me, "Oh, bro, yo, Nathan, how are you supposed to like find your purpose? And that's exactly how I found mine. I found it by just experiencing life. You know, not one time before I played that video game did I ever think I was going to even touch a guitar. It was never a thought in my head. I was just being a little 13-year-old, 12, 13-year-old, and I just wanted to play guitar. That's all I wanted. Like, after I played that video game, that's all that sparked within me. That was my purpose. But again, not one time before I played that video game did I ever think I was going to be playing guitar. Life went on. I started practicing. And before you knew it, I'm a little bit more than averagely skilled on guitar. And I plan on getting even better. So don't worry. The point I'm trying to make with that is, your dream will most likely find you before you find it. I'm not saying that you can't go out and actively find what you want to do, because some people succeeded while doing that. But it is way better, at least personally speaking, to just roll with life and roll with what life gives you. You may not even expect it. Like, I know some people that they've told me, like, bro, I want to draw and I want to become like the next Da Vinci. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. 2 months later, this person's telling me that they want to be a mechanic and they've practiced, and this person knows more about cars than than any person that I know, really. So fate is a very beautiful thing. Go check out my episode where I talk about that with Frankie. But yeah, that's all I want to say about dreams in terms of the future. And finally, let's talk about nightmares, but in terms of experiences. Now, this has the potential to be very disheartening to anyone that has gone through something that traumatic. There are a lot of people that I know that have gone through nightmares. One of those people even told me that the reason he calls his experience a nightmare is because the entire time he was going through it, he felt like he wanted to wake up, to escape the horrendous things that were happening to this man. That dude, I'm still friends with this guy, and it hurts to hear him say the things that he said, but I'm gonna let him have his privacy, at least on this channel. I wouldn't want to wish a nightmare on my worst enemy, because everybody has trauma and everybody had nightmares, and it's normal. Life sucks, and it's just that's what you're gonna have to deal with. You're gonna have to deal with nightmares. You're gonna have to develop trauma. But if you are going through a nightmare, and I really hope that you're not, but in the event that you are going through a nightmare, be strong, because you will wake up. That's going to be it for today's episode. Be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe for more content like this. See you guys later, in this life or the next.